Welcome back to Bike Culture Hub, where passion meets performance and where every machine has a story to tell. Today, we're diving deep into the world of muscular naked bikes and revisiting a legendary name that's roared back into the spotlight, the 2026 Honda CB1300 Super Four. This isn't just another motorcycle release, it's a statement from Honda that the era of the big-bore inline-four street fighter is alive and thriving. For decades, the CB1300 Super Four has stood as a symbol of Japanese craftsmanship, reliability, and brute performance. And in its 2026 avatar, it blends that old-school charisma with cutting-edge technology and modern refinement. Over the next several minutes, we're going to break down what makes this bike so special, from its key features and performance characteristics to its striking design elements, unique selling points, and even its estimated pricing. So if you're a fan of heavyweight naked machines, stay tuned because this one's going to get your heart racing. Let's start with what's at the core of this beast, the engine. The 2026 CB1300 Super Four carries forward its iconic 1,284 cubic centimeters liquid-cooled DOHC inline-four power plant, but it has been heavily revised for better efficiency, compliance with the latest Euro 6 emission standards, and sharper throttle response. It now produces around 120 horsepower at 7,750 RPM and an impressive 118 Nm of torque at just 6,000 RPM, delivering relentless acceleration in every gear. The character of this engine is unmistakably Honda, silky smooth yet muscular, refined yet raw when you twist the throttle open. It's paired with a slick 6-speed gearbox and Honda's assist/slipper clutch, ensuring smooth upshifts and preventing wheel hop during aggressive downshifts. Honda has also added a new quickshifter system as standard, allowing clutchless up and down shifts that make riding this big machine more exhilarating than ever. Performance-wise, the CB1300 Super Four is built for commanding the road with absolute authority. The bike uses a twin-spar steel cradle frame that's been stiffened in key points to improve rigidity while shedding a few kilos from the previous version. The weight now sits at around 245 kilograms wet, which is impressive considering the size of the engine. Fully adjustable Showa front forks and twin Showa piggyback rear shocks give it a supple yet controlled ride, whether you're carving corners in the mountains or cruising along long highways. Braking is handled by dual 310mm front discs with 4-piston radial mount calipers and a 256mm rear disc, all tied together by Honda's dual-channel ABS and cornering ABS systems. The addition of cornering ABS is a first for the CB1300 series and brings peace of mind when leaning hard into turns. A traction control system with multiple sensitivity levels rounds out the electronic safety package, letting riders confidently harness all that big inline-four power. When you talk about a bike like this, you can't ignore its road presence, and the 2026 CB1300 Super Four delivers it in spades. It retains the classic naked bike silhouette that made it iconic, but with sharper and more aerodynamic lines. The tank is muscular and sculpted, flowing seamlessly into the minimal rear tail section. The new LED headlamp has a retro round shape housed in a modern metal casing, giving it a timeless yet futuristic appeal. All lighting is now full LED, from the indicators to the taillight, and Honda has added subtle DRL strips around the headlamp to make it instantly recognizable on the road. The bike comes in a selection of bold colors including pearl sunbeam white, graphite black, and a stunning candy glory red that pays homage to the original CB heritage bikes. Chrome accents on the exhaust and engine casings give it a premium touch, while the machined alloy wheels and beefy 180 section rear tire add a muscular stance that screams power even at a standstill. The cockpit area has also received a major modernization while still paying respect to the analog charm of classic bikes. You get twin analog dials for the tachometer and speedometer flanking a full-color TFT display that shows gear position, fuel range, riding modes, and smartphone notifications. Yes, the 2026 model introduces full Bluetooth connectivity via Honda RoadSync, letting you pair your phone, answer calls, control music, and get turn-by-turn navigation, all while riding. The switchgear has backlit buttons for night riding, and the handlebar position is slightly more upright for better long-distance comfort. Speaking of comfort, the seat has been redesigned with multi-density foam and sits at 790 mm, making it accessible to a wide range of riders while still offering enough legroom for taller riders. Riding the CB1300 Super Four is an experience that blends raw mechanical thrill with modern refinement. The engine note alone is addictive. A deep, throaty growl at low revs that builds into a turbine-like howl as you climb through the gears. The throttle response is precise but not twitchy, and the bike feels incredibly planted at high speeds. Thanks to the revised suspension and frame geometry, the handling is surprisingly agile for a machine of this size. It leans into corners willingly, holds a line with unwavering stability, and feels predictable even when you push it hard. The wide handlebar gives plenty of leverage, and the overall balance makes it less intimidating than its specs might suggest. Honda has also fine-tuned the aerodynamics around the tank and side panels to reduce wind buffeting at highway speeds, which makes long rides far more enjoyable. In terms of technology, the 2026 CB1300 Super Four now includes multiple ride modes: Standard, Sport, Rain, and a customizable user mode. These modes adjust throttle response, traction control sensitivity, and ABS intervention to match the conditions or your mood. There's also an electronic cruise control system, a welcome addition for long-distance touring. USB-C charging ports are tucked neatly under the seat, and keyless ignition makes everyday use effortless. Despite its muscle bike identity, the CB1300 now offers the kind of rider aids and conveniences that make it a viable option for daily use, weekend blasts, and even long tours. Now, let's talk about price, because that's always a big factor. Honda has positioned the 2026 CB1300 Super Four as a premium offering in the big naked segment, and it's expected to launch globally with a price tag around $15,500 to $16,000. In markets like Japan and parts of Europe, it may be slightly less due to local manufacturing incentives, while in other regions, taxes and duties might push it higher. But when you consider what you're getting, a massive, beautifully engineered inline-four, cutting-edge electronics, premium build quality, and the Honda badge of reliability, it's clear that this bike offers solid value for riders who want performance without sacrificing comfort or daily usability. What really sets the 2026 CB1300 Super Four apart is its unique character. It's not chasing the hyper-naked crown with mind-bending horsepower figures or track-focused aggression. Instead, it's about accessible power, timeless styling, and mechanical honesty. It's a motorcycle for riders who want to feel the surge of torque under them, hear the deep growl of an inline-four, and enjoy the pure joy of riding without an overload of complexity. Yet, it also gives you just enough modern tech to make life easier and safer. That balance between heritage and progress is rare in today's motorcycle market, and it's what makes the CB1300 stand out. It's the kind of bike that will turn heads wherever it goes, not just because of how it looks, but because of the deep, resonant sound it makes and the unmistakable aura of mechanical confidence it exudes. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the 2026 Honda CB1300 Super Four. If you're someone who values timeless design, robust performance, and that unmistakable Honda reliability, this motorcycle deserves a serious spot on your radar. It's more than just a machine, it's an experience, a statement, and a connection to the golden era of motorcycling, reborn for today's roads. Thanks for joining us on this ride. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to Bike Culture Hub for more in-depth motorcycle content, and drop a comment telling us what you think about the new CB1300. Until next time, ride safe, ride hard, and keep the culture alive.